will eventually, very soon, have to take care of Bahrain. Bahrain has to go, and they can't, because the government won't stop oppressing the people. The government of Saudi Arabia will not stop oppressing the people in the eastern provinces. My belief is Bahrain, which is 80% Shia, has to go. There's no way for it not to go. It's just too big a population. Eastern provinces of Saudi Arabia, where a lot of the oil is, they're going to choke them so much, they're going to say, we're independent from you. It's gonna, now, the better it's done, the less death. So, I want you in your mind, link Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, right, and Yemen. We already have Iraq, we already have Syria, we already have Iran. That's the Middle East. Don't worry about Egypt and all that. They can say and do what they want. This is the time we're living in. That's why you Iranians, you call back home if y'all not watching in Iran. I know they told me y'all watch this in Iran too. I know. Yeah. Anyway. That's what this was about last year. Same thing I'm telling you now is what this says. This is an article at the University of Tehran, and let's say the Department of Strategic Studies in the Western part. They have a Western Studies department, like they have an Eastern Studies department here. And it says, al-Faqih is a safeguard against global oppression. That's what they said it said. They translated my lecture for some phony reason, trying to fool me, but they put it in the front page of the newspaper. That's fine, no problem. But all of you phony you're not phony politicians. Here's the problem. You guys are cliquish minded. 100 years ago, cliques were fine. But today, there's a war against Iran. And Iran has been handed the leadership of the Muslims during this period. And you claim to be Shia and you don't know what's going on? And 25, 30 million people show up in Najaf and Karbala 2-3 years in a row and you don't know what's going on? The Shias are ready. It's just that you ain't ready. You don't even know what it means. Oh, it's great, we got, no. The Shias are performing perfectly. The bombings and the killings all over the Shia world done by Daesh and ISIL has produced no violence from the Shia community. That's warming the hearts of the conscious Sunni community, right? That can't last forever. When this thing comes together, Iran, you have to lead the whole region. Sunni, Shias, Shafis, Malikis, don't make everybody. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. Now me, I can't say I want to play a role in shaping. I can't say, well, the government does this. I say, go ahead, this is what I want. And anything they do, you turn it into a victory, right? And stop licking the white man's butt. It's a disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. Now you could stand up to him slickly. You don't stand up and say, you cracker, this, that. No, you just hold on. But then you do what you want to do. Now with me, if I wasn't down with Imam Khomeini, I wouldn't put up with y'all's behavior for the last 20 years. Y'all have been hilarious. Ridiculous. You think I would put up with this? Another thing. You think y'all can scare me if the United States can't scare me, and I've been living with the cracker for 72 years. With all the oppression, you think you can, ally? You think y'all can scare me? You gotta be stupid. In fact, if y'all don't get busy, next 2 weeks, we're gonna call all your names. All of y'all has been acting funny. You TV announcers, you movie makers, all of my friends. In fact, you movie makers. You got your job as the top movie people, media people, because of what you did in '92. You came over here, I took you all over America, you videoed it, and you made 12 one-hour videos out of it. And in one of the videos, I told you the process of decline in America. Remember? And you put it on the radio and TV, and it said, I'm sitting there working out, and I'm telling you this: America will decline first from the inside. And you reminded me when you came back here with the movie. You know which movie I'm talking about. It's a good movie. And you said then, it's 15 years later, everything you said has already come true. I'm telling you, this is not arrogance. If you have a gift to run, you can't say, I don't have a gift to run. You say, I thank God, man, I can run. And with a little training, I can really run. You say, thank God. That's your gift. Some people can spell. Little girl want to spell it bee. They have words I ain't never even heard of. I can't challenge that little girl in spelling.
And she was Indian.
She, of course, not that 95% of them is Indian. But the point is this: look, if you have a gift, you ever notice that in different sports, some people got a gift to do that sport. And you could train with them, but you can't catch them in that. And if you do multiple things, there's something that you do that guy can't touch you in that, because that's your gift. Now, if you train in your gift, you get even better. Okay, what I want to do is share my gifts with the Islamic Republic right now, because you guys are not up to par, especially the dear foreign ministry. Yes, you know who I'm talking to, and I'm going to call your name. And everybody knows. You know why they know something slick? Because every time you come up and say, Imam Musa is my friend. And I tell y'all, stop saying that. Because in the dunya, it means I'm feeling for a place to stab you in the back. Tell the truth. You Iranians, you know what I'm talking about. And when we had that conference of all the ex-Iranians that had been here, and Muhammad al-Asi was speaking and I was speaking, and Muhammad al-Asi said, America's going to attack Iran. And then y'all asked me, is that true? I said, hell no, America wants to, but they can't attack you. They ain't going to attack you. Now I want y'all to think back, pull out all the old tapes and records and everything, and see if I've told you the truth. Now, we want to do this because the next stage, we're going to need millions and millions of dollars. We're not trying to open no new masjid down the street. We got to fight them on the level. We need the high-techest tech you can get. We need media beyond media. We need script writers, movie makers. We want to influence the direction of change. In order to do that, we have to have our own TVs and everything else to reach the people. And I told y'all keep thinking of me as a speaker. My expertise is not speaking, it's management. Remember I told y'all in the conference last week? I said, I'm a strategic manager. That's what I always did. I said, I happen to be able to speak a little, but that's not my expertise. If you think I can't do it, how many niggas you know went to South America and started a dope smuggling cartel? You think that's easy? Try it and see what happens to your butt. Hire somebody, tell them go down to South America and start a cocaine smuggling cartel. And just for the heck of it, go to Colombia, the most dangerous place in the world. The most dangerous place in the world. I used to live at that time in Bogota and Medellin. The tourist statistics said the most dangerous city in the world is Bogota, Colombia. And I look at my address, it says Bogota, Colombia. Right? Do you think it's easy to develop the most sophisticated gangster organization in Northern California? Do you? Well, let's go through the script and see how many is left that tried it. Yeah. See how many Negroes from the 1960s, they're still healthy and happy. They're not crazy and they're not in the penitentiary. You know, either my friends, they either got killed, or when I was in LA in the conference the year before, last year, the Angelman conference of all conferences, one of the brothers came, he became Muslim, and he brought me pictures of all of the brothers. He said, see, we was at McNeil Island together, we was at 11. Here's so-and-so. I said, is that right? And my friends have been in the penitentiary for 35 years, not forget about the 25 they did before. They're my age, 72 years old, 73, 75. And they have did, like, believe it or not, 40 years in prison. Now, I got lucky. The white man snatched me up when I was a kid. And I did the time you'd be playing, shoot marbles, 12, 13, 14, 15. I did all of that time in jail, then teenage time. But when I got grown, I only did one long bit, and that wasn't no time. It was only 4 or 5 years. That ain't nothing. And I've been out of the penitentiary ever since. That's why when the police do something, I tell them, take me to jail. You know why? They can only have me there for a day or so. What's a day or two in jail, or a week or a month? It ain't nothing, it's an arrest. Dear Iranians, God had handed you this whole thing, and you earned it. You've been doing well. Ain't no lie about that. But now you have to move up to a higher level. You can't. The same with us. We can't do the same thing that we've been doing. Why? Because the environmental circumstances have improved in our favor. And I'll close with this. If you want to see America die and have fun looking at it, turn on the news and look at old Don. Tell the truth. Did you think it was going to be like this? I didn't. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But I didn't know, and we tell a lot of jokes, I didn't know it'd be this much fun. That America would decline with a butthole like old man. Who could have imagined it? Nobody could. I'm telling you, I'm a good planner and imaginator, but I didn't imagine that. I got tricked. History fooled the heck out of me on that. I didn't think it would be a big old yellow-haired, red-haired man. Now, the last thing I'm going to close with, our allies. I'll deal with y'all next week now. With all the stuff that the Americans been doing to me, I did a newspaper, a news magazine, pops this up as a revolution in, what is that? Muslim religious rights denied for 34 years in Washington, D.C. They're showing that as a struggle in D.C. and not us. That's not true. Ain't nobody paying no attention. Don't nobody even know who that is. And if you go to the Islamic Center, don't nobody know why they was out there. Last thing, what the Negroes know, a lot of black Masjid, African American centers in D.C. Phony takeover of the Islamic Center, right? Close all of your mosques and all of y'all come to the Islamic Center. The brothers are in charge. Soon as the Negroes sit down and warm the seat, they throw them all out and they too lazy to go open a masjid again. That was a design trick by the Zionist American Saudi cabal in America. Theirs truly know what they're doing. Theirs truly don't produce nothing. Just a few quick examples. You know the National Negro. Last year, believe it or not, we're in Iran, the National Negro is there. And the time before that, when I saw the National Negro, it was President Ahmadinejad was here. And they had the National Negro. Guess who's sitting up right at the front? Siraj Wahaj on this side and the National Negro on the other. So when the president walks in, he looks way back. I was so far back, he did his eyes like this, and he's, gave me a salute, like, hey, is that you?
Yeah, my man.
Hey, man. He was looking for me, and there's the two Negroes, the most anti-Shia, anti-Iranians, and the National Negro is such a liar and fabricator that it's not even possible. And then you don't want to tell the people, hey man, the National Negro, you don't want to cut nobody's throat, but they're actually in Iran. The newspaper lady, when they die, do they go to a spaceship? Instead of heaven, they don't. I say, yeah, that's true. The mothership. So yeah, sure. Who want to go to heaven when you got a mothership with 1,500 bombing planes? I said, what's her name got beamed up there? The National Negro in '87 was beamed up, and he met God in person. You know who? And he met a messenger of God in person with a little cap on, and he was there. And then he went around to y'all talking about, I have taken my shahada. Then you turn on the Negro station on Sunday here, them Arabs, them Iranians tried to pull me away from the most honorable so-and-so, and I'm sticking with the teachings of the Lamb. And I said, man, that boy lies, but y'all don't hear it. I said, that man is a notorious liar. And now y'all trying to kick me out and replace me with him? You are stupid. Stupid. You Iranians was over here know what I'm talking about. You tell them media people and those handkerchief-headed brothers. And in the media, the girls that took Shahada in 1982, the most popular ones on Press TV, and now they get over there and they cut the Pope brother's throat. You know I got enough sense to know if somebody walks straight at me with a knife and slashes my throat, that I can see who it is. And that's what y'all been doing. But I just go along with the program. But the heck of it. This is a strategy. But we want all of us to mount this serious word. Now this is for me, personally. I had said to myself after going through these revolutions in Africa and all that, and Negroes running off with their money and everything, and I became a Muslim, but a kind of real Muslim, not the national type. And so we was reading about the Jet Digitally Zawars and all that kind of people. I said, man, if I ever run across somebody like that, I'm going to get down with them. No, I didn't expect it to happen. But along came Imam Khomeini. And I didn't just jump on board. I watched everything he was doing because, you know, it's not that you don't trust nobody. You say, yeah, let's see what's going on here. I've heard that before. And pretty soon, I said, oh, boy's all right. What he say and what he do matches constantly. So much so that when he was coming back from France, the revolution on that Air France plane, I know the guy, he rented the plane for $2 million. That was a lot of money in those days. So they asked Imam Khomeini, how do you feel? He said, I don't feel nothing. How would you feel, me and you? They done whooped us all upside the head, run us off in exile, and now we coming back with full power to do anything we want. Would we say, it ain't nothing? I'd be saying, yeah, so-and-so, with your bad-talking self. Wasn't you the one locking me in the cell, sticking me with hot plates again? Wasn't that you? I said, you look like, yeah, brothers, that's hot plate there. Okay. Oh, dear General, you're not the one that was lynching my cousin and sent him to the penitentiary for 40 years and then shot him out back. It wasn't me. Dear brothers, that's the General. Right? That's what we would do. But Imam Khomeini didn't do that. He said, I don't feel nothing. The last thing, by the white man's criteria, greatness of purpose, smallness of means, and astounding results is supposed to be the criteria for greatness. If that is, then Imam Khomeini, greatness of purpose to establish an Islamic government with nobody even thinking about it, believing in it, or talking about it, right? And then to do it, no Army, no Marines, no Air Force, no nothing. Smallness of means and astounding results to establish the revolution and keep it going, and you're an old man when it's happening, right? Hey, man. So what I said was, if I find somebody like that, I'm going to follow. Okay. Y'all said the same thing, but y'all have changed. I'm not changing because the situation has not changed. We follow the line of Imam. And starting next week, I'm going to do all I can to get everybody in line with it. And if y'all still over there lying and bootlicking in the foreign ministry, you know, your most famous people I'm talking about. We're not only going to call your name, but we're going to do everything that we can to make sure the line of Imam is established. You guys don't have a right to talk about we have to fix the economy when your economy is better than anyone else's. You don't have the right to allow people to talk about that we need to do certain things that don't need to be done. There's no necessity for reform. You got to stop lying. Okay? The last thing is, y'all's policy in the United States has coincided with my allies. And all your policies coincide with the Zionist American government. I'm not saying y'all polices, but I am saying that you act like the police. Yes, you do. You act like a bunch of rotten, low-down polices. And I'm not mad about it. All the times y'all hung me out to dry, you know, all the programs I put together for the last 20 years, and as soon as I come to you and said the program is ready, you know what you have said? What program? Oh, he's not here anymore. So he's your friend, we all know each other. Okay, forget it. Then we go and somebody else suggests another program. We say, you don't need that program. But here's what we'll do. You remember there's an Islamic Institute for Countless Eyes right there? That's fine. The institute you wanted was not necessary. We don't need an institute to study America in America and issue no white paper on America. Right? You may need one. We don't need one. We just don't. I don't know how crazy people can get. And then if you don't do it, they turn their back. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I'm not doing it. Using all that time and all that energy. And then over that institute, they want you to have a PhD or at least 2 master's degree people over it. I said, because you know, it's research and they come from the university. I said, yeah. I said, do you know what the salary is for those kind of people? Where's the brother gonna get that kind of money to pay those people that kind of money? I said, those kind of people are just, the cheapest you can get them is $100,000 to $120,000 a year, right? Masters, man, you're gonna want $75,000 a year, right? And you want 2 of them to do what? Produce a white paper. You know, I guess what they call white paper, some study at the university. We do case studies on our own, and we do them in our own language. You read As-Sabiqun, and you're going to read the best literature you can get hold to in the United States. So, dear believers, we want to stay on the line of Imam. Iran is in a position of power. If you don't do it right, you know what the Quran says, we will place you with somebody else, and they won't be like you. So you politicians, get yourself together. And if you don't invite me over there, I'm going to do it from over here, so it don't make no difference, you know. But we're going to bring straightening. Next time, when you try to run for president, you're going to see Imam Musa right there. And you got to remember this last thing, so you remember. You remember Mahmoud Mughadam. He was our best brother from over here. He died several years ago from poison gas. When he was in Louisiana, he was the best Iranian over here working in the black community. That's why the FBI grabbed him up bodily and took him to the plane and sent him to Iraq. So when I came over there, just when the war was over, and y'all, some of the brothers will remember, I know his family will remember, we was visiting a lot. And I told him, this is about 1989, he was a colonel in the Pastoran at that time. I said, I want to talk to, you know, top people in security forces, and I want to tell them about America. And 2 guys came, and he translated. This is top people in the security apparatus of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And I told them then about all of you guys and where I thought you was going. Because remember, if I told them in New York in public, I'd have already known what was going on for 5 or 6 years already. So you may think you're getting away with something, but your dear security forces, which don't like you book-reading, westernized guys anyway, you better watch out. You know, that's what I'm trying to tell you. See, in good English, a nigga couldn't get this far unless they used to say, you gotta be twice as smart. Remember that? And to get a job, remember they should tell us? Yeah. You gotta be 10 times as smart. To deal with all of y'all, and all of y'all, all of a sudden, the man say, this is the best guy we got, and all of y'all cut me off of the schedule at the same time. There's something fishy in Denmark. So thank you very much. Are there any questions about anything? If there's no questions, if there's no comments.
Yeah, there was a brother that asked a question on the live feed.
What did he say?
He said, Walayati Faqih, blacks need our own independence, our own nation, just like Iran has theirs. Then someone can be one day giving a speech about us one day. Just like today, you are mentioning Iran, alhamdulillah. Imam Musa, how do we get our own nation and steps to that? Can you do a talk on that, Aki?
Okay, if you came here every week, every khutbah, every lecture, we close with that. We open with that and we close with that. What we can and need to do here, okay. What we're doing now, and we have been doing for decades, whatever you see has been just footwork. Really what's going on is what's happening right now before the camera. It's called leaderless resistance. If you were active in America, you would know that if you start any kind of group, any kind of activity, the government will infiltrate you so heavy to make your head spin. So you have to use all of that in order to develop the type of base that you want. Right now, we are still in the process of developing the kind of community that works here in America. If you're talking about a physical community, nobody believes. That's what, look on the computer and get leaderless resistance. Nobody believes that a standard, what they call pyramid organization, can exist in America and it not be thoroughly infiltrated. And I have believed that for 35 years. In fact, I've known it. So right now, when we talk about Iran, we spend all our time here. We're right here in Southeast Washington. We came to Southeast Washington on purpose. In those days, it was 100% Negro. Starting Masjid is in East Oakland. Da-da-da-da-da. The Negro, of course, the Latino now, but that's the way it is. So we believe in the policy of, what do they call it? Environmentalism. They have a saying. Think globally, but act locally. Think globally, but act locally. Because we talk about Iran today, don't mean that we're not right here in our community. In fact, we've never left. If we go somewhere else, it's to wave at everybody, but we come back right here. We spend all our money. Every center we open, we've opened as many as 10 or 12. Of course, the white man messes them up. They're all in the Negro community, every last one of them. So, but we're not locked in anymore. It is a global struggle. But you have to start in your local community where people understand what you're talking about. but we reach out to all humanity from our community. We invite other people from outside to come here. All of our programs will be here. We invite people from the outside to come here. And when we go outside, you see what it opened up with. Said this man had been everywhere from the slave ship to the jumbo jet. Talking about racism, he said, we didn't even know what we was looking at until he told us there in South Africa. We're specialists on racism. Yes.
Tell them about our policy. Masjid.
Yeah, Masjid, first institution, Masjid. Then it could be business or school, but business or school. And then housing, geographical integrity. We own not only the Masjid, we own the housing on the ground. We're going to build, with Allah's help, institutions right across the street. The white man just takes our money all the time. You wouldn't believe it. The white man can walk right in, and I have a stack of money on the table. He'll hand me a slip of paper. He'll say, that money is mine. And he'll take it. No big deal. He's been doing it all the time. I just got to tell y'all a few things about the white man. See, they tell y'all I was a dope dealer. You know the white man used to take most of the money himself because they wanted me to work with them on the open. They the ones set the whole thing up. But I said, no, I ain't working with y'all. So they would just take the money. They would arrange something. I didn't say here's a tax thing, here's a thing. And it seemed like the brothers was working with them. If I had a big stash of money, they would tell him he just left taking $50,000, a lot of money those days, over so-and-so, and the police would stop me. And oh my goodness, what is this? What are you going to do with all that $500? That's $500, that's $50,000. And they used to take that back, that's $500. And they take it. What are you going to do? Go tell them, big dope dealer, police took my money. You know, I'm going to close with this. When I turned myself in at the Los Angeles County Jail back in the early 70s, after traveling all over the world, and I wanted to beat my case, so I had $25,000 in my pocket for legal expenses. The FBI came and they said, oh. So they wrote out a receipt. And when I looked on my property, the receipt said $5,000. So I told my partners, man, go down and put a little money on the books. They put 10 grand on the books. You know what? I got the paper, I might have showed y'all. It said, you owe the government $10,000. We took it off the books. So pretty soon, I had to eat jailhouse food because I couldn't get no compensation. I was scared to put any money for the next 5 years on the books because they would take it. I'm telling you. So you people that worried about us not being black enough, we're actually just about as black as we look. So don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And you would be proud the way we, you see the way we deal with all the people. No, nobody, ain't nobody gonna push us around. But we don't have to go and holler at everybody, I'm black and you can't do this to me. No. So, are there any more questions on that?
Yeah, someone else asked it's a pretty light question. He says, Imam Musa, I live in DFW, which is not good. I was thinking about leaving to Atlanta. What would be a good Muslim community to abide in? I'm not leaving the South, though.
DFW.
Yeah, I don't know what DFW is, though.
Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well then you know I did all our programs there. Well, but the communities in Atlanta, well, just going down to the East End and, There's nice Muslims over there. Yes, they are. They're as nice as they can be.
You mean the West End?
Yeah, West End. Yeah, West End. Yeah. Any more questions on that?
Nah, that's it.
That's it? Okay. Thank y'all very much. Assalamu alaikum.